We will move on next to the president's report. A number of items. As I said earlier, good morning. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here. This meeting has the theme of honoring our minority bar associations and our members of the minority bar associations. As part of this meeting, we have a couple of what I view as significant items to address. We will be looking at later today proposed updates and discussion regarding our organization's DEI plan. And we'll be hearing from a number of leaders from within the profession about that. And I look forward to that conversation. This was a way to build substantively on the overall theme of the meeting. Tomorrow, we will be discussing proposed recommendations from the Bar Licensure Task Force. This is something we've been talking about for some time, but it represents a pretty significant proposal for the profession, and accordingly, we've devoted a pretty significant amount of time on the agenda to address that. Because of the meeting format change from in-person to all virtual, that has unfortunately led to cancellation of some events that we had lined up through the hard work of Executive Director Nevitt and Shelley and Diana Singleton and others with our leaders of the minority bar associations. I have indicated to the board, and I will indicate again to everyone who's present here, that I am personally committed to rescheduling these events, having them take place later in the year, because this relationship building and interaction is important. So with that, and I will say the same is true also for the Access to Justice Board, who we were hoping to meet with this morning. All right, moving beyond this immediate meeting, I wanted to provide a brief update about the events that have unfolded since our last meeting. Since our last meeting, I and a number of others are continuing this 2023-2024 theme of For the People, built around interacting with the public in a way that builds their trust and confidence in what we do as a profession and what we do as an association. Since our last meeting, I had the opportunity to travel with Rusty McGuire, one of our members from out in Davenport in Eastern Washington, to go speak with students at Eastern Washington University that are interested in potentially going into the law. That was a wonderful conversation and a great opportunity to plant seeds among potential future members of our profession. On November 28th, I had the opportunity to go speak at Bellevue Rotary on the subject of the role of attorneys in an age of doubt. Chief Communications Director Nagowski accompanied me on that, and I thought we received very strong positive feedback and great questions. Rotarians always ask very good questions. They are heavily involved in the community, highly informed members of the public. It was great to interact with them. On December 15th, I had the opportunity and the honor to travel to the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Washington in Spokane to briefly take part in the naturalization ceremony for new U.S. citizens that was presided by former WSBA president and now U.S. District Court Judge Stan Bastian. That was a tremendous opportunity. I also enjoyed the chance to speak with students from Garfield Palouse High School who traveled up for the day for that purpose. So in short, these are the types of events that I had hoped we would be able to engage in at the beginning of the year. Chief Communications Director Nagowski and I, as well as Executive Director Nevitt, are working on a proposed public engagement plan that we anticipate bringing to the board in the near future for review, comment, and from my perspective, hopefully adoption. That would outline how we hope the organization will seek to deliberately interact with the public in the future. One other brief item for the President's report is, as some of you may know, we just finished up football playoff season and the football championship game. The University of Washington advanced both to the Sugar Bowl against the University of Texas and then on to the championship game against the University of Michigan. I reached out to the president of the Texas State Bar and had a friendly wager with Cindy Tisdale on the result of the on the result of the University of Washington, Texas game. There we are. Thank you very much, Executive Director Nevitt. The wager was that if UW won, she would wear a University of Washington hat, take a picture, and allow us to post it. If Texas won, I would do the same. I've received my Texas hat, which is great. My niece attends the University of Texas, so I will actually wear it proudly. But congratulations to the University of Washington on their big win in the Sugar Bowl. Relatedly, I had a bet that turned out not as favorably with the president of the State Bar of Michigan, Dan Quick. Mr. Quick is a double Michigan grad, so he took this wager extremely seriously. Of course, University of Washington came out short on that bet. So my Michigan hat, I understand, is in the mail, and I will wear it. You will see it in the near future. The purpose of these bets, they're fun. They're an opportunity to interact with leadership of other state bars, but it's also an opportunity for us to educate a little bit to our own members about these other state bars. So the Texas State Bar, for example, is an integrated bar like our own. It's large, it's robust. They are working with the results of the recent Boudreaux decision in that area that impacts integrated state bars. The State Bar of Michigan, similarly, an integrated state bar. Great members out of both associations. So this was a chance for us to interact with the leadership of both bars, as well as interact and educate the members of each of those states about our respective bars. So that is my president's report. Are there any questions or observations for me before we move on to Executive Director Nevitt and the Executive Director's report? I see Nam has said go blue in the chat. I like it. Thank you, Nam.
We also have Nancy Hawkins has her hand raised.
Nancy.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
All right. It's a little bit different format than I'm used to for your Zoom meetings. I just wanted to briefly mention to the Board of Governors that I had a intense conversation with Hunter and Tara about the 2 meetings that have included outside speakers that were not part of the schedule, that were not available to the members through the Zoom process. And that was the retired general, I think it was in Tri-Cities, and then the police officers at the University of Washington. And while I appreciate I'm speaking as a member, while I appreciate the intent of building trust with the public, I think that any such speakers should be available to the members. They should be part of the agenda. And I think there should be some better conversations ahead of time to plan a meaningful way to address the intended issue. And that was particularly true with the officers who are all Seattle-King County, were all fairly laudatory of their own actions and did not reflect the problems that officers have been responsible for in many parts of our state, including Seattle and King County. I think that there needs to be more involvement in choosing those outreach efforts and making sure that they accurately reflect issues. The police officers in particular followed the criminal law, that what was supposed to be an honoring of the criminal law section. Francis and I talked at some length about a very serious case of police misconduct and prosecutorial misconduct in Grant County. And to then go into a unannounced meeting with officers that talked about how hard they work and how great they are without any recognition of similar problems that occur in other parts of the state and King County and Seattle, I think reflected poor judgment and was inconsistent with the official presentations. I'm sure the criminal law section would have appreciated the opportunity to ask questions of those or other officers. I certainly would have appreciated an opportunity to plan ahead for questions. And so I would hope that I asked if there were going to be any such unannounced speakers for this meeting. I was told no. I trust that's still the case. But I hope there are changes in this process in the future.
All right. Thank you very much, Nancy. Other comments or observations for me in light of the president's report? Seeing none, we'll turn it over to Executive Director Nevitt for the Executive Director's report.